Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Daniel DeLillo. We're here at the South Park Center. I'm delighted to be joined with Anahita, who's come all the way from New York City to be with us with their fantastic music video on Pasillo. Let's take a look at the clip. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for flying in. I'm really excited. For those that haven't seen your wonderful film, tell us a brief synopsis.
Yeah, so Paseo was actually a school assignment that kind of diverged into this passion project. And I made it with my good friend, who's actually a comp sci major for his song. He just makes killer music in his bedroom.
He does.
Yeah.
Truly.
No, he can really rock it. So the song is called Paseo, which translates to a journey. And the song is, it's about losing your heart and asking someone to find it for you. It's very lighthearted and fuzzy. And, we were a student crew, so we had a pretty minuscule budget.
Yeah.
And in order to work with that, I really was like, okay, how am I going to show this loss of one's heart? And every day to and from school, I was seeing this. I was seeing the same kind of street art with all this heart paraphernalia.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, why don't we make street art? Why don't we explore this, ethos of chasing love, and then also learning how to let go of control and expectations. So that's kind of what we explore very visually.
It's amazing. For someone that's lived in New York too, the street art in New York City, especially in the East Village, as you just mentioned last night, is magnificent. Like, you're constantly inspired. But just want to commend you. I know this was a student film, but it was so beautiful to watch, from the music, from the street art that you included, from the characters that you created. It was really entertaining to watch. And I was in the auditorium last night, and everyone was just having a good time when your film came on. So well done. So that's kind of a little bit where the inspiration came from. But then, this journey that you kind of took everybody on, how did you go about mixing the music video and the lyrics and the song and the rhythm, and then turn that into a story? How did that come about? Yeah,
so that really was in pre-production. So that was a matter of sitting down with a lot of pens and paper and actually storyboarding it out. So I had everything kind of hand-drawn and paced out beforehand, and that was really important because we were doing this mixed media technique, right? So combining live action with hand-painted animation. There's over 4,000 frames.
Wow.
And every single animation that you see is hand-painted.
Oh my goodness, wow.
So that took that definitely took a while.
And who's your team that worked with you on that?
Yeah, I was actually really lucky to be joined with two fantastic animators, Maya Templar, who's based in New Zealand, and Jordan Walsh, who's based in Dublin, Ireland.
Oh, wow.
So we were working over Zoom, all three of us, to get this done. But in order to really ensure that the effect would work, I also was advised by a VFX professor to really sit down and figure out the size of the effect and the pacing, and draw it all out so there would be no miscommunication with creative as to how we would do this. Because again, it takes time. It's painstakingly, meticulous.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, definitely. So 4,000 frames. Wow, that's magnificent. That's incredible. Now I love this. I love this story. I love this story about love and your heart. And there was so much symmetry and sort of symbolism with your film. How did you know about the design, about how you wanted to transfer this kind of love element that was seeking through for the heart and for the heartbeat? It was beautiful.
When you're in your 20s, and I think this goes on for the rest of your life.
It really does, yes.
Love is something that's kind of so intangible, and it's something that this industry really lives off of, because love is also hope.
Yes.
And I think the beauty of painting is that it captures that intangibility.
Yes.
And that's why we have this, really colorful kind of, I like to call it the essence. That's what we call this colorful blob.
Yeah.
And, it's not just one thing. It flows, it ebbs. There's that scene with the dancers as well, where it complements the scene. And there's more of like a sanguine moment where they, kind of absorb it and then let it go again, and the chase continues, and it's cheeky, it's fluid, but at the same time, it's something that we all chase.
Yeah, there was so much hope and love in the film. Like, you can't help but watch your film and smile. Like, it's so wonderful to watch. Not to mention the very catchy tune as well. That's absolutely wonderful. But yeah, there's a real essence of hope, and also the kind of magic of New York City and the street art that kind of brings the whole thing together as well, which is great. So you obviously, there's a lot of work goes into the artistic side of things and creating the art and this like moving painting. How then did you kind of film as a director, like all the moving parts, like through the streets of New York? How was that experience?
Yeah, that was the real journey, I would say, because it was my first time directing. They were also, no one was an actor. Like, these were all.
They're great.
Yeah.
They should be. Yeah.
There was actually, the butcher was an actress.
Okay.
But yeah, everyone there, they were just my friends. I called them up and I was like, would you like to be in this? And they were like, sure. And it was freezing cold when we shot it. It was like a good maybe 40 degrees and it was raining, but it didn't really matter because we were mostly running through the city. And it was, it was also limited size and scope because we are a small crew. And so there's a lot of uncontrollable elements that we deal with, right? We can't stop pedestrians who want to come through. Yeah. Which honestly, there was a lot of really hilarious moments.
in the extra parts, right?
Yeah, in the extra parts, like especially with the sage character.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a 21-year-old in like this SFX makeup to make him look really old. He was he was our cameraman too. He was our DP. Oh wow. So he was in like full garb, full costume.
I love it.
DPing, and this old lady like puttered up to him. And was like,
really?
Yeah. How inquired how did you come into this profession?
Oh.
And we were like, yes, we sold it.
There was love on the set, literally. That's amazing. Well, you've won when that happens. And like, I'm just curious, when you're making a film like this and you've got all these brilliant imagination that you put together with, both the song and then obviously with the artistic elements and the acting, the edit must be interesting. So how was the edit experience working on this? Because it looked beautiful, but it must have taken a bit of time to do it.
Yes. I edited it. So,
you did?
Yes.
You did such a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Most of my experience, like throughout my first 2 years of school, were actually in post-production and VFX, because I kind of started freelancing when I was 16, which meant it was a one-girl team. So I was shooting, producing, editing. And just having that kind of like technical background filtered in. And it's really nice to be able to apply that because you can kind of like see the process from the other side too.
The other side too as well.
Yeah.
And one thing it's so lovely to see when you see a music video that is a short film, that is a film, it's got a story to it. Yeah. Which I certainly feel like you captured. I'm just curious, what's the reaction been like with your film? We certainly loved having it at NewFilmmakers LA. It got such a great response yesterday. I could see people's little shoulders just jumping around yesterday with excitement. How has the experience been for you bringing it to festivals?
This is actually the first film festival I've ever been in. Yeah.
Wow.
So, which is really exciting. And seeing it on the big screen was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
This is real now, and I think reactions have been really positive. Yeah. And I've just been so grateful to have this opportunity to be able to share the work. Yeah. Because Ale and I don't have large audiences, so in terms of like getting reach, it's festivals like this that are really important.
Yeah, I don't know, your reaction last night, it was like a Beyonce concert with her fans yesterday. Like seriously, everyone was so happy and so involved, and you had some really great people that came along to support it as well. So obviously this year's a big year because you're graduating NYU, so it's very exciting. You lived in New York City. how are you feeling about that? And also like what is coming, what is next after, as you graduate, what is next for you?
Yeah, so, you know, I think this goes for anyone, regardless of what industry you're in, but graduating is exciting. It's very exciting, as it is also nerve-wracking.
Yes.
And so, you know, looking forward, I've been really lucky to have met so many talented peers, not just in the film program, but in like the business program, et cetera, et cetera. And so we've been working on like our own little startup production company.
Oh, great.
Yeah, which, you know, is still in the very early works. It's called Saffron Vigilante.
Oh, wow.
And we do short films, whether it be narrative, experimental, or branded work. And so that's kind of in the works at the moment, if you will. But I'm actually also co-developing a diasporic film with another Anahita, believe it or not.
Really?
And we met at a vigil for Masa Amini last October. I was handing out flowers, and you know, it was very emotional. Everyone was kind of crying, and we started chatting, and she was like, "Oh, what's your name?" Anahita. No way.
What?
No way. And so, yeah, we started chatting. Turns out we're in the same year. We're both in Tisch, but she's an actress.
Oh, wow.
So we've been collaborating on, and I mean, we're currently in the second round of the Hear Us grant.
Oh, congrats. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. And yeah, we're pitching in a week for that. So this round of funding, if we receive the grant, will purely be for development, so that we can get the film to a place where we have a proof of concept shot, a longer feature-length script, and a really comprehensive treatment to bring to financiers.
I was, you know, when I watched your film, there was so many wonderful creative moments, you know, in the film that you actually made. I'm like, this can't be, like, it felt like you've done about 30 films, like, honestly, like, you know, it's incredible to see the work you've done already and how exciting that's going to be for your own future. And, you know, for people that are wanting to follow in your footsteps, maybe go to college, even leaving college, in your early, you know, emerging years of being a filmmaker, do you have any advice out there that you would share with the audience that you go by?
Yeah, I would say just do it. Not to quote Nike, but
no, yes.
Truly, I think, look, no one's waiting for us. That's the reality of the entertainment industry, and if you want to be a storyteller, no one's waiting for your stories. You have to dare to just try and try over and over and over again, because you can be talented, but you have to put in the work.
Yeah.
And that goes for any field.
Yeah.
And then there's also, you know, an element of luck. But I will say again, like, this business is one that thrives off of hope. And so I would also say, hold on to hope and surround yourself with people that remind you of that hope.
Yes, it's like a TED talk, that one, I tell you. But no, seriously, thank you so much. I mean, just by you sharing that with us has given me more hope, and I'm sure everyone in the audience more hope to follow their dreams as well. But listen, we're so excited for you. Thank you for bringing your film. We're so glad that it was the first experience and it was a good one. Welcome to the New Filmmakers LA family. We'll be here for you forevermore, and congratulations on your film. We're really excited to see what the future holds, so thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been an honor.
Anahita, everybody. Yay!